Yo guys, what's up? Gimsor here, coming at you with another patch 2.6.1 guide. This will be for the Furious Charge T13 speed farming Barbarian. You're going to be utilizing 6-piece Immortal Kings and 4-piece Wrath of the Wastes. With that being said here, we'll go over the gear, we'll get you gameplay of a Rift, and then we'll be on our way. So like I said, you're going to be utilizing 6-piece IK, 4-piece Raker, and so you'll be using Ring of Royal Grandeur. So the pieces of Immortal Kings that you'll be running are Helm, Gloves, Belt, Pants, and Weapon. Raker will be Shoulders, Chest, and Boots. For your Amulet, you'll be running Hellfire. There's other options you can run as well, but we'll go over that here in just a little bit. Bracers, I'm running Strong Arm. Another alternative to this would be Nemesis Bracers. And for rings, you will be running, I have a Compass Rose, but you could wear a Stone of Jordan and a Ring of Royal Grandeur. For the cube here, I have an Avarice Band in. I'm not even going to try to say this, the War or whatever arm guards, and we will have Standoff in the cube. Standoff is getting buffed for this patch, so we're doing significantly more damage. And as you see there, Fierce Charge deals increased damage equal to 500% of your bonus movement speed. So this build is focused solely around movement speed. A couple ways we're getting that are through our legendary gems, and that's why we're running Avarice Band as well. The legendary gem Wreath of Lightning, 15% chance on hit to gain a Wreath of Lightning, and while under the effect of Wreath of Lightning here, you gain 25% increased movement speed. We'll be using Boon of the Hoarder, 100% chance on killing an enemy to cause an explosion of gold, and you gain 30% increased movement speed for 2 seconds after picking up gold. That's why Avarice Band is nice here. Each time you pick up gold, you increase your gold and health pickup radius by 1 yard for 10 seconds, stacking up to 30 times. So this ring alone, once you're picking up gold, will give you a 30-yard pickup radius. So you'll always be picking up gold, so that will always be procced. This helps as well for picking up progression globes and things of that nature. With that being said, let's kind of go over what stats you want on your gear. For your helmet, Strength, Vite, Crit Chance is fine. For your shoulders, Strength, Vite, All Res area damage is fine. Or Strength, Vite, cooldown area damage is fine. I'm not having any issues while testing this build and needing cooldowns, so Strength, Vite, All Res area damage seems to be the best roll. For gloves, Strength, Vite, Crit is fine. But I'm running these simply because I don't have any others. Ideally, I'd be wanting to run Strength, Crit Chance, Crit Damage, Area Damage. For your chest here, you want Strength, Vite, Furious Charge damage. Bracers will be Strength, Vite, Crit Chance. This is where we're going to get into kind of how your luck goes on gear. So with this build, if you're running the Stone of Jordan, and then you have your Hellfire and your Bracers, whatever element that you can stack 3 different times, so on your gear, so say for your Amulet, Bracers, and Stone of Jordan, you're able to get fire damage, you'll be running to run Furious Charge Battering Ram, which converts your Furious Charge to fire damage. Because see, with Raycor's 4-piece, you gain the effect of every rune, but the rune that you select will be what element your Furious Charge turns into. So like I said, whatever element you're able to get on all 3 pieces, the same, so Amulet, Bracers, and then a Stone of Jordan, that will be the element that you want to change your ability to on Furious Charge. So as you see here, on my Hellfire Amulet, I have fire damage, and on my Strong Arm Bracers, I have fire. So I chose the Furious Charge, the Battering Ram rune, which converts it over to fire. So For bracers, for me, is fire, strength, fight, crit chance. For you, it could be lightning, strength, fight, crit chance, or physical strength, fight, crit chance. It all depends on what you're able to find. Same goes for your amulet. You will have crit chance, crit damage, and then whichever element you will be trying to stack. Let's see here. Now for your Immortal King's belt, strength, vite, all res, life percent is ideal here. For Ring of Grandeur, ideally strength, crit chance, crit damage. Or actually, I'm sorry, this will always roll attack speed. So attack speed, crit chance, or you can substitute out your Ring of Grandeur, wear Avarice Band, and cube Ring of Grandeur, in which case you could have strength, crit chance, crit damage, or roll strength off and have attack speed, crit chance, crit damage. And ignore that here, you want crit chance, crit damage, area damage ideally. But strength, crit is perfectly fine as well. Same thing, we're going to call this my Stone of Jordan. I don't have one that I can use, so I just have a Compass Rose on. Ideally, the stats on it would be fire skills and crit chance, I believe. I can't remember exactly what can roll. Let me see here if I do have a Asajj. So yeah, here you go. So ideally, you'd want, for my instance, would be fire damage. And then crit damage and damage against elites are going to be mandatory. Then you would roll off, like in my case here, the strength for a socket. Now on to the pants. Strength, vite, all resistance is what you want. Boots, strength, vite, armor, movement speed. And weapon, strength, percent weapon damage, and area damage seem to be the most ideal rolls here. And before I forget, I did miss here, ideal roll on shoulder, and I completely forgot a minute ago, is strength, vite, area damage, furious charge damage. I forgot that shoulders can roll furious charge. For this, cooldown in your helmet's fine, or you can put a life percent gem in it, and then strength or all res gems. If you're getting squishy, you can run all res, but all strength gems should be fine. With that being said, the legendary gems are going to be, what I'm running is Bane of the Trapped, Boon of the Hoarder, and Wreath of Lightning. Both of these are for pure movement speed. And once again, all the gear is pretty much ancient, but I have no augments. And Paragon points, I am only running 800 points total. That way I'm simulating more of what lower Paragon players can expect. Of course, when you get more Paragon, you're going to be doing significantly more damage. So the way the build works is, if you read the IK6 piece here, while both Wrath of the Berserker and Call of the Ancients are active, you deal 1500% increased damage. So the way it is, what you're going to do is when you get into the Rift, you're going to activate your Ancients, activate your Wrath of the Berserker, and then make sure Battle Rage is on, which I can't do right now because I don't have any Fury. And then as you're moving through with Furious Charge, you're going to be wanting to make sure you're keeping Sprint up, because the way the build works, the more movement speed you have, the more damage you're doing. The cool thing about Ancient Spear here, which I completely forgot to go over the skills, so we'll go ahead and do that now. Sorry for the confusion. So Furious Charge, any rune you want is, you're going to be matching your gear to that, so whatever you find. So it could be fire, lightning, cold, or physical. It just all depends on what you're able to get on your gear. Ancient Spear Boulder Toss. This is a rage dump, and the reason you want a rage dump is right here on the where's it at? Right here, your 4-set on IK. Reduce the cooldown of Wrath of the Berserker and Call the Ancients by 3 seconds for every 10 Fury you spend. So whenever you get to charging and you're building up a lot of Fury, once you dump it, one full dump will almost completely reset your cooldown on Wrath. So as you can see there, that is completely for just keeping up Wrath of the Berserker. For Call the Ancients, there's 2 options you could roll here. Together as one is great for some damage mitigation here at the lower Paragon levels. And then there is a cold skill as well once this is done. That might be a little bit better once you're higher Paragon. Duty to the clan here. Enemies hit by the Ancients are chilled for 2 seconds and have 10% increased chance to be critically hit. Other than that, those are the two options for Call the Ancients. Battle Rage Ferocity here. This is for movement speed, which it increases your movement speed by 15%. And you will have that 15% as long as Battle Rage is active. And it will go off a cooldown. You just need to keep an eye on that once it's off. Sprint Marathon increases movement speed by 40% for 4 seconds. Pure movement speed here, so you want to be trying to keep this up as much as possible in the Rift so you're doing more damage. Wrath of the Berserker Insanity. Not only is this pure damage, but Wrath of the Berserker there, as you see, gives you 20% movement speed, so that's even more damage on top of the crit chance and attack speed buff that it gives you. Down to the passives here. Berserker Rage, pure damage. Brawler, pure damage. Rampage, pure damage. And Ruthless, pure damage. So as I stated before, getting into the Rift, you're going to be activating Call the Ancients. You will be activating Wrath of the Berserker. Once you see enemies, you will start Furious Charging into them. That will give you some Fury to activate Battle Rage, and then Sprint. Once you get to full Fury, you want to be, in my case here, I will be right-clicking to dump my Fury, which will be kicking down the cooldown here on Wrath of the Berserker. So without further ado here, let's get you guys a little gameplay here so you can kind of see how the build works, and we'll be on our way. Alright, so Wrath of the Berserker, activate, charge, Battle Rage, Sprint. You're just going to start going here, dump Furious Charge, or I'm sorry, my Ancient Spear with Blood, or Boulder Toss. And then as you can see, we're pretty much just going to one-shot everything we come to. And like I said earlier on when explaining the build, the cool thing about this is having the Avarice Band in the cube. And with running Boon and the Hoarder here, you're picking up everything that's in a 30-yard radius, which works great. So you don't have to stop and manually pick everything up. And like I said here, everything is pretty much going to die in one shot. I haven't played Barb in quite a while, so as you'll see here, I am from time to time forgetting to activate my Sprint, which is something you want to make sure you're trying to keep up as much as possible, because it is a big, fairly large chunk of your damage because of the movement speed. Another thing right there, running out of charges because I was charging too many enemies, or not enough. So if you're charging less than, or if you're hitting 1, you will always get a refund back. So that's another thing to keep in mind. But yeah, other than that, it's pretty straightforward and a great build for these lower Paragons. As you can see here, it has no issues. Unless you get hung up. and like I said, I am still new to the build. I haven't played Barb in a very long time. But I want to get these videos out for you guys. Make sure you guys have as many options as you can for next season. Season 12, patch 2.6.1. Alright, messed up there. Didn't hit anything with my charge. So now I'm kind of screwed. Gotta wait for another charge to come up. No biggie. I'm not in any hurry right now. I just want to get you guys seeing here what the build is all about. Alright, so we got the RG here. Let's go ahead and rock his socks, and like 2 or 3 charges and he's dead. So that's the build, guys. I mean, all there is to it. Just making sure you're keeping sprint up, make sure battle rage stays up, that's movement speed. Then you dump with Ancient Spear Boulder Toss to be resetting the cooldown on Wrath of the Berserker, and making sure Call to Ancients is active, which you only have to engage it once unless you die, because they will never die in these rifts. So with that being said, guys, if you have any questions, feel free to comment. If you're on Diablo Fans, comment there. If you're on YouTube, post a comment there. And as always, you guys can catch me on Twitch this coming season at twitch.tv/GimpSoarGaming. Twitter, you can catch me there at twitter.com/GimpSoarGaming. And of course, youtube.com/GimpSoarGaming. With that being said, guys, I hope you have a great season. And until next video, peace.